What if I told you that the angriest moment of your life could have been avoided with just 3 seconds of silence? Most people don't realize this until it's too late, until they've already lost something precious. Today's story will change how you see anger forever. Science has proven something remarkable. When we are angry, our brain literally shuts down the part responsible for logical thinking. That's right. In those heated moments, we are not thinking clearly at all. We become slaves to our emotions. The ancient Greek philosopher Seneca once said, "Anger is an acid that can do more harm to the vessel in which it is stored than to anything on which it is poured." But here's the truth nobody talks about. Anger itself is not the enemy. The real enemy is our reaction to it. Today, I'm going to share a story with you. A story about a man who learned this lesson the hardest way possible. And through his pain, you might just save yourself from making the same mistakes. There once lived a young man named David. He was talented, hardworking, and loved by many. But David had one serious problem. He couldn't control his anger. If someone cut him off in traffic, he would rage for hours. If a coworker made a mistake, he would explode in front of everyone. If his wife asked him a simple question at the wrong time, he would snap at her with cruel words. People around him started walking on eggshells. They were afraid of triggering his temper. But David, he didn't think it was a problem. He thought, "I'm just being honest. I'm just expressing myself." One evening, David came home from a terrible day at work. His boss had criticized him in a meeting. His project had failed. Everything felt like it was falling apart. He walked through the door, tired and frustrated. His 7-year-old son, Oliver, came running toward him with a big smile. "Daddy, Daddy, look what I made for you." Oliver was holding a drawing. It was a picture of their family, drawn with colorful crayons. The son was smiling. Everyone was holding hands. But David was in no mood. "Not now, Oliver," he shouted. "Can't you see I'm tired? Go to your room." Oliver's smile disappeared. His little hands trembled as he held the drawing. Tears filled his eyes. He whispered, "Sorry, Daddy," and quietly walked away. David's wife, Sarah, looked at him with disappointment. But she said nothing. She had learned that arguing with him in these moments only made things worse. David went to his room, threw himself on the bed, and closed his eyes. He didn't think about what had just happened. He was too consumed by his own frustration. But that night, something changed. Around midnight, David woke up to the sound of crying. He walked toward Oliver's rooms and gently opened the door. Oliver was sitting on his bed, hugging his knees, sobbing quietly. David's heart sank. "Oliver," he whispered. "What's wrong, buddy?" Oliver looked up, with red, swollen eyes. He said something that shattered David's heart into pieces. "Daddy, do you not love me anymore?" David froze. Those words hit him like a hammer. "What? No, Oliver. Of course I love you. Why would you say that?" Oliver's voice cracked as he spoke. "Because you always yell at me. You're always angry. I try to make you happy, but I always make you mad." And then Oliver said the words that would haunt David forever. "I wish I was a better son. Then maybe you wouldn't be angry all the time." David felt like the floor had disappeared beneath him. His own child, his innocent, loving son, was blaming himself for David's anger. In that moment, David realized something terrifying. His anger wasn't just hurting him. It was destroying the people he loved most. He sat down next to Oliver and pulled him into his arms. "Oliver, listen to me," he said, his voice shaking. "You are perfect. You are the best son anyone could ask for. I'm so sorry. This is not your fault. This is my fault." Oliver looked up at him, confused. David continued, "I've been carrying my anger like a weapon, and without meaning to, I've been hurting the people I love. But that ends tonight. I promise you I will change." The next morning, David made a decision. He went to see a counselor. He started reading books about emotional control. He began practicing something he had never done before, pausing before reacting. It wasn't easy. Old habits don't die quickly. But every time he felt anger rising, he would remember Oliver's face that night. He would remember those words, "I wish I was a better son." And he would stop, breathe, count to 3. 1, 2, 3. In those 3 seconds, everything changed. He learned that anger is like a fire. If you feed it, it grows. But if you pause, if you give it no fuel, it begins to fade. Weeks passed, then months. People at work noticed the change. His wife noticed. But most importantly, Oliver noticed. One day, Oliver came running to him again with another drawing. This time, David didn't snap. He didn't brush him off. He knelt down, looked his son in the eyes and said, "Show me what you made, buddy. I'd love to see it." Oliver's face lit up like the sun. And in that moment, David realized something powerful. True strength is not about how loud you can shout. True strength is about how calm you can remain when everything around you is chaos. Now, let's talk about you for a moment. Maybe you see yourself in David's story. Maybe you've said things in anger that you wish you could take back. Maybe you've hurt people without meaning to. If that's you, I want you to know something important. You are not broken. You are not a bad person. You simply haven't learned to master your anger yet. And the good news, you can start today. Here's the secret David discovered. Anger is not the problem. Anger is a signal. It's your body telling you that something is wrong. But here's what most people get wrong. They think the problem is outside of them. The traffic, the coworker, the situation. But the real problem is inside. It's how we interpret what's happening. When you feel anger rising, ask yourself these 3 questions. 1. Is this situation truly as bad as I think it is? 2. Will my reaction right now make things better or worse? 3. How will I feel about this reaction tomorrow? These 3 questions create a gap, a space between the trigger and your response. And in that space, you find your power. Viktor Frankl, a Holocaust survivor, said it best. Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom. Let me give you some practical steps you can use starting today. Step 1. Notice the warning signs. Your body tells you when anger is coming. Maybe your heart starts racing. Maybe your jaw clenches. Learn to recognize these signals before you explode. Step 2. Use the 3-second rule. When you feel anger, pause. Count to 3. Breathe deeply. This simple act can save relationships. Step 3. Ask yourself, what am I really angry about? Often, we're not angry about the thing in front of us. We're angry about something deeper. Stress, fear, feeling disrespected or unheard. Step 4. Communicate, don't attack. Instead of saying, "You always do this," try saying, "I feel frustrated when this happens. Can we talk about it?" And finally, step 5. Forgive yourself. You will mess up. You will lose your temper again. But each time, you can choose to learn and grow. David's story didn't end that night with Oliver. It was just the beginning. Years later, Oliver grew up to be a kind, patient young man. And you know what he said to his father one day? "Dad, thank you for showing me that change is possible. You taught me that being strong doesn't mean never falling. It means getting back up and trying again." Anger will always be a part of life, but it doesn't have to control your life. You have the power to choose your response. You have the power to pause. You have the power to master your anger before it masters you. Remember, the most powerful person in the room is not the one who shouts the loudest. It's the one who stays calm when everyone else is losing control. So I want to ask you something. Have you ever lost your temper and regretted it? Or maybe you've learned to control your anger in a powerful way. Share your story in the comments below. Your experience might be exactly what someone else needs to hear today. And if this story touched your heart, do me a favor. Share this video with someone who needs to hear it. You might just change their life. Thank you for watching. Remember, you are stronger than your anger. You just have to believe it. See you in the next video.